safety and corrections. I spoke with Christy earlier about that. I mentioned yesterday there's a pilot that we've applied for from the state office, and hopefully if we get that, we'll have assistance from Oxford and Feds. If we don't, we're still going to help you anyway. So it's a win-win for you. So we're going to get together soon. I heard you talking with Christy at Hines about some things earlier, some partnership sharing there, so that's great. More is coming, I guess. Smart Start, we touched on it earlier. We hear your concerns. We understand what you're saying. For now, we're going to table it. Bronwyn is going to reach out to some directors. She did ask the Smart Start staff that was on the call that day for some feedback. We just didn't get it. So we're going to pull some of you in to see how we can better assist you with Smart Start moving forward. If you're not teaching Smart Start, though, I want you to keep in mind you don't need a Smart Start instructor, right?
Say it a little louder than that.
If you're not teaching Smart Start, you do not need a Smart Start instructor, so keep that in mind.
Nobody's talking about cutting your budgets. However, if, think about that, we're not going to continue to pay for a position that's not doing what they're being paid to do.
Well, are they not kind of in a row for Smart Start with sign-in sheets?
If they're not teaching Smart Start at all, and no students, and no credentials, and still have a Smart Start instructor position, that position will eventually go away.
I know it's confusing.
It's not
It's shocking
confusing.
that that's happening. It's not confusing because it does happen.
It's just like if you don't have enough students in your class, eventually, that class is going to go away. That has been adult ed since day one.
Nikki,
Period.
McKenna.
And right, nobody's doing that. COVID is, don't worry, nobody's cutting anything. Nobody's doing anything right now. Nobody, okay? But eventually, we're going to get back to this normal stream. And it's going to be, are we using our funds efficiently and effectively? And if we're not, then we have to change.
Recruiting, Bronwyn, marketing and recruiting, we're going to have some strategies. She's going to continue to meet with the programs periodically. We hope to help as we build you as directors. Next year and in the future, you'll get skills that'll enable you to go out and speak to people in your community, organization, so you can recruit more. Whether that's you, whether that's your CCN, it's up to you. So we have recruiting strategies coming. That's part of what our PD is going to be for next year. And the last question, I believe, was the role of the CCNs. See if I missed anything. So I'm going to let Navigator talk to you about the CCN role.
So that was a question about what are the responsibilities of the CCN, or what are they supposed to do? I can't believe somebody had a question. But, however, I know we have some new people, okay? We do. And I'll resend that job description out. It's actually a job guide, but your CCN is there to help support your students. So they recruit individuals into your program. They take care of your data. They enter data in the system. They help provide support services to your students. They help eliminate or target some of those student barriers that your students have. So if somebody needs transportation, then that is the person to help them with the transportation. If they need a connection to Voc Rehab, they're the person to reach out or give them the information to go to Voc Rehab to get the resources that they need. If they need tutoring to be set up, then your navigator may be the one to schedule that, or your navigator may be the one who do the tutoring. So it just depends. Some of y'all have navigators that teach classes, that help teach classes. So, I mean, there's not 1, 2, or 3 set things that they do. They do informational sessions. They do your intake, okay? They keep the file on your students. So there's a lot of things that they do. And this person has to be well-rounded. They have to be understanding to students' needs. Somebody who doesn't judge. Because the population of students that you serve come with all kind of stuff. Okay? Just like we do. So they have to be able to juggle that, manage that, be able to listen, be able to be confidential and not share students' private information, whether it's a private conversation, private documents. They have to be able to do that. And just have a good attitude about doing it all. Are there any additional questions about what they do? I'll send that job guide out. And if you want to talk to me directly, then you can call me. What I've done in the past, one more thing, Karen, what I've done in the past, like when we have new navigators to come on, I always try to link them up with somebody at a college that's close to them, so that they can kind of talk with them. They can maybe visit the location they're at to kind of see what a day is like at their college. Some of the documents and forms and stuff that they've created for their program at their site. Because what we did a long time ago was we gave colleges the liberty of using or developing their own forms, because a lot of the colleges already had things in place, and it kept them from recreating things. So if there's something that you need to help track your transportation, excuse me, or help track attendance, you know, we could help you with that. We could share some of those documents from some of the other colleges.
So the job description that you just said was a CNN is probably what every single one of us does. Concern more is if the CNN is supposed to, I'm under the impression the CNN is supposed to meet with all the My Best students, which is basically all the students we have now.
Okay.
So that's my concern. My concern is that he or she needs to have an interview with literally every one of our students.
And that's true. So they are responsible for, and Beth asked me this question a while ago. She said, so what's the difference? Because I wrote something, and I had college and career navigator for adult ed, college and career navigator for My Best. And she said, well, what's the difference? So the difference is your AE person, because you have a lot of adult ed students, your AE, college and career navigators, are gonna focus on your adult ed students and what's going on. Your college and career navigator for My Best is going to more so focus on those My Best students who are coming in and they're going into college. Ultimately, they both are focusing on the same students, okay? What they have to do is develop that relationship, because some of them split it down the middle. They do both. They decide how they're going to tackle that. But when I call your college and ask for something that's grant related, I may call and ask to speak to the person who is, you know, overseeing the My Best piece. I may not ask for the adult ed college and career navigator. But if I'm calling for something, I may tell caller, no, that goes into LACES. Let's see what the adult ed navigator says about that, or if they even reported that. So then we're calling the adult ed person, because there are just certain things, and it depends on how you have it structured at your college.
And you have the flexibility to do that at your college.
Yeah.
And to keep this point in context, the person being paid out of the grant,
Mhm.
and that's grant related. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a one-on-one campus, one on the other campus, and you figure out how to make that work.
Yeah.
I think it also depends on the how many do you have total being served? Like, you would not want to fund two separate positions if you only at that point in time had 25 students.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's financially not feasible at that point in time with the evolution of your program.
That's correct, and not everybody has to.
Right,
A lot of people
but
just have to.
say 3 years from now, if your goal is to get it to where you have 90 students being served and you feasibly need one funded this way and one My Best funded, then work it that way. That's a conversation that you need to work towards.
That's right.
Right, and that's something you need to
But your My Best
right.
funded chick is accountable to you through that grant and through those policies.
Right, and any grant that we're running, because let's say we get another grant and we want to do another college and career, it just depends on what the responsibilities are.
Yes,
Every student should have access to transition services.
yes.
Every student. Every student should have that pathway, that
Yeah.
plan, that focus, the wraparound services. How you do that at your schools, it's got to be up to you. Look at Hines, they've got 5 campuses or more.
and they have one on every campus.
So Gulf Coast, they're spread out. One person physically can't be everywhere, so.
And you're right, if they're paid out of the My Best, budget, then yes, that person needs to be directly responsible for all of those My Best people. So it just,
And
yeah.
requirements.
Right. And so when I come and I'm looking for something that's required by that grant, then I'm questioning two people. I'm questioning you and I'm questioning him.
Yeah, I mean, now that, My Best, back in the day, My Best was pretty much just the higher level ones. And now it's virtually everybody but fundamentals.
Right.
So that's,
Not the best. My best is not the foundation of good.
No, she was saying that it was a higher level program, and now.
Foundation should say now, it's different.
yeah, now you can't, Foundation and Bridge can be My Best, can they not?
Yes, they can.
Yes, they can. That's what I'm saying. So now, that's what I'm saying. Back in the day, My Best, I had 5 people. Now I have 98 people.
And that's because she included all of her duty, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and that's all I'm saying is that I thought my understanding of this is that when a student comes in, they pick a pathway, you give them a training option going towards that pathway. But that means that the My Best Navigator has to meet with virtually everyone.
Yes, but that's because you only have one. That's because she only has one. That's because you have 2. So they can split that responsibility up. So if you have 90 people, and your one is too much, then we need to have a conversation. We don't know that if you don't tell us that. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna make this.
I mean, I question expanding staff at this particular time. Like, I think it's too much. I think we have too many students for one person to do it, but we certainly
Hold
don't
up.
have 2 yet.
So, you just said something. We don't have enough students to justify the position. Your teachers can be part of helping transition those students. They should be involved in that. That may not be their title, but everybody's goal is to transition students.
Because you're coordinating.
You should be talking about,
Well, adopted instructors refer that person through wherever, so I mean, that's transitioning, is referring them to the appropriate person at the college.
your instructors and your transition specialists should be talking and communicating on a regular basis, because they are talking about the same set of students, and your college navigator can't know every single thing about when they took their tape and all that, but they can communicate and they can work with them. There is no reason, and I'm going to say this is not all across the case, that your people don't have time for PD, because your enrollment's low. If you don't have anybody in your class in the afternoon, what are you doing? I'm sorry, they need to be doing PD, they need to be making phone calls. They don't need to be sitting there playing solitaire. I'm just saying.
I mean, and if we only have a class load of 5 individuals, put those 5 individuals on K&T while you're on PD on campus.
And then there are times where the coordinator or the AE director have to step in and help out with these responsibilities as well. Suzanne, you're not going to tell me that you hadn't done the job of a navigator. Cindy, you're not going to tell me that you hadn't done some part of what the navigator is supposed to do. And Julia, you surely not going to tell me you hadn't recruited students or you haven't done an intake for, a student.
I've been asleep for 12 years.
You been asleep?
Asleep.
Did she say she been asleep?
Just move on. Don't even go there. Move on.
Okay, I'm going to give that
All right, so I think the only one I did not address was class size. And I know due to COVID, we've had a lot of restrictions, limited seating or spreading out our seating to make sure that we're 6 feet apart. We can't help you with class size. I mean, I wish we could. I wish every program had a setup like Sandy brags about East Mississippi University all the time.
Yes.
Belden has a fantastic setup. A lot of you have great ones, some of you do not. It's not ideal, small rooms, several places on campus. We cannot control that, obviously. The only advice and guidance I can give you in that is to meet with your higher ups at your colleges or your school districts, wherever you are, and have a discussion with them and see if you can come to some type of agreement. Are there any other classrooms on your campus that aren't being used that maybe you could utilize?
If you would like for me to have, not that I'm anybody, but if you need somebody to talk with workforce stuff, and you want to have a meeting, call me, I'll come, Beth, come. Well,
I have a suggestion though, because I was just sitting here thinking about the fact that the beautiful thing about the raises coming in is that there are other programs that don't have the opportunity to extend that. I think I would love it if you all would actually go, and even at the president's meeting that we have, like present at the president's meeting and express that we are paying for it, it's not out of your budget. And then like you said, bring everybody to the table. We need the VPs to come to the meeting. We need the presidents to come to a meeting. And you give them the information so they know this is not in the skin on your back. They're going to give this money to you so you can bless these people that are.
They sure don't, we took it away.
Right.
Not that we're making more.
I think that will help and alleviate the burden from the programs coming from the top down.
Thank you, Carla. All right, so let's leave here on a good note. At the end of the day, what is our priority? The students. Always, always, always keep that in mind. Keep that at the top of your list. And I know what you're going to do is be successful. No stress. I know I've heard people are stressed about their performance. I don't know why, because y'all performance in our state right now as a whole is better at this time of the year than it has ever been. Which I swear I've got chills. I wish y'all could see my arms. But anyway, it's amazing to me. Some of you are struggling, but it's okay. It is okay. Some of you are kicking butt. That's great. We're doing wonderful as a state. We are so proud of you. We're so thankful for your leadership. I know a lot of y'all have had a huge staff turnover. Lindsay was just expressing some concerns. I know Wendy has had some issues with turnover. Kelly, maybe, I don't know. I know several of y'all. I mean, are just really on a skeleton crew at this point. But you know what? This is what I see you doing. You're keeping one foot in front of the other. You're moving forward, and that's all we can do. That's all we ask you to do. So thank y'all for coming. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Can't wait to see all of you again. Can't wait till we get to meet with the CTE workforce directors. That's coming in the future. I know what we're starting here is our AED foundation, and it's going to continue to move up. So thanks for all your hard work. Safe travels going on.
Thank you.
Thank you.